Please keep yourselves muted. Thank you, Fanny. We got Fanny and Vigari with us. They gave you a little homeopathic dose of what's going to be coming today. All right, here we go.
What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and a very happy Sacred Sunday to you. It is Earth Day weekend, and this is our monthly show in which we are going to connect and communicate with you, our audience. So it's an especially good show to come and be in our Zoom room. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be watching us on Facebook. A big thanks to John and Summer Raymer and the Sign Network, who get us out to as many as 175 different Facebook groups and pages, which is pretty amazing. And so if indeed you're watching us on Facebook, that's awesome. Welcome. And I want to suggest that you come on into our Zoom room. Come and join the Global Peace Tribe. And it's really, really easy to do that. All you got to do is go to globalpeacetribe.com. That's globalpeacetribe.com. And when you do that, this is what you're going to see. You can learn all about who we are and what we're doing. And then click where it says register for the new season. And when you do that, that takes you to our registration page. We do 3 or 4 shows every week with all these beautiful luminaries, great co-hosts, and really important topics like Humanity Awakening, which was a great show we did on Wednesday night. Here's the show we did last night, celebrating Earth Day. And here's the show we're doing today, Omashar and I leading a conversation with all of you. When you register, you will get the links to all of our Zoom rooms for the next 3 months. And that way you can come in, you can interact with us more easily, which is really wonderful. And you'll get all the links, because as we talk with our different guests, we put a lot of links into the chat box. And that way you can kind of get all the information. You'll also be on our email list, which means that you will get an email, usually on Monday, which gives you the access to the recordings from our past shows. So come and join the Global Peace Tribe. Now, today, in addition to conversing with all of you, we have got, of course, my beautiful beloved brother and co-pilot, Omashar, who's going to provide a couple of songs for us. Hopefully, Eleanor Joy will dance, and we'll hopefully get a full Eleanor Joy instead of just her beautiful legs. But we enjoyed watching her legs yesterday. For those of you on the show last night, you know what I'm talking about. Fanny and Vigari are with us. So we're gonna have a lot of music today. Omashar, Fanny, Vigari, and the great Paul Sterling offering relationship tips and tools. And again, because this is our monthly chat with the audience, if you've got relationship issues, Paul's your man. And if Paul doesn't have the answer, maybe I will. So it's gonna be a really fun show. Last weekend I had the good fortune to be with the Twin Ray. They were in Marin County, where I am. I'm in Tiburon, which is kind of my primary resting place these days. And they were at the New Living Expo, and it was really wonderful to spend a weekend with them. I introduced most of their little talks, or big talks, I should say. And I thought for today on the Sacred Sunday show, I'm going to play a video recording that they did on an earlier Global Peace Tribe show with us. And it starts with this beautiful miracle song that Shekinah recorded. They really live a very miraculous life. And she had her cell phone and she was just singing to herself in her sanctuary. And her cell phone somehow turned on, recorded it spontaneously. And then they added the images that you're going to see. And it's a song to the children, whom she really has an affinity for. And then they lead a beautiful meditation. So that's what I'm going to play, and that's going to be our opening prayer and meditation. I really want to acknowledge everybody who is with us today. So many of our friends, so many beloveds. And Eleanor Joy and others are excited that Paul Sterling is here. That's good. And as always, let us know where you are from. I see, of course, we've got Jarina down in Ecuador and Eleanor Joy in British Columbia, Belinda in Sedona, and friends all over the world joining us. So here we go. And I need to make sure that I've got this queued up.
So I was here by myself.
Now we're going to wait for 1 minute. Shekinah, I got to get this queued up properly. And I'm sure I'm going to add you so you can let me know if we've got it just right.
So I was here by myself and I had placed my phone down. And I just started to sing. I was singing the voice of the mother to the children, receiving the prayers and sending them right back, sending the miracles consistently. And I was even moved. There's a moment, you'll probably hear it, but I even have tears running down my face during this moment because the prayers are so significant and because the suffering is so great right now. And it also connected into when this was written and what was happening at that time. And so this is a transmission. And the miracle here is that the phone just started recording this transmission all on its own. And then when I went back to it after the practice was complete, a couple hours later, there was this long recording of this transmission. And I remember I said, this is a transmission now that needs to be given. Now, this isn't a produced song or video or anything. It's just my singing a cappella in the center, transmitting from my pure heart to the pure heart of the world. And that's what it is.
All right, I'm pulling it up.
Hana bekode julat yaminecha tati tehua kabelina tamcha sabenu darenu noa
Hana bekoge julad yamine hatati teua. Nagibod do shahe yichudecha kvevat shamurem. Hana bekoge julad yamine hatati teua. Bachem tacharem rachme zirkateka tamid gamlem. Hana bekoge julad yamine hatati tehua. Asin kadosh burov tufka naeladatecha. Ana bekoge julad yamine hatati teua. Yachid gelamcha penesocha kadushatecha. Hana bekoge julad yamine hatati teua. Shaveinu kabel ushma sarkateinu yodeat alumo. Hana bekoke tulat yamineha tati teua. Baruch Hashem kavod Malchuto leolam vaed. Amen.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
With the vibration of your voice, so is you know. And whenever I listen to that video, and I play it for myself sometimes, it brings great comfort. It brings very, very great comfort. And I'd love to just go straight into, if you'd like to, as we're in this beautiful vibration, lead a short meditation for us, please.
Take a moment and just turn your eyes inwardly into your heart, to the center of your heart. Beautiful expression of the divine that's living and beating inside you. And take a breath into the center of that heart, and as you exhale, just relax your body. It's relaxing in to this moment, letting all of the week just fall away, all of the day just drop to the wayside, and all that remains is the presence of your pure, beating heart. And just take a moment to contemplate and to feel this statement, this sharing, that you are the miracle of divine love. You, in this moment, in this life, you are the miracle of divine love.
For it were not for divine love, you would not be here. You are the very miracle that divine love made in manifest form.
Letting go of all thoughts about your personal experience, your story, your person. Just let that all go as well and just be present. That one truth that you are the miracle of divine love. Your very existence, the very front of this experience of your life is the miracle. And that awareness, that pure awareness, that moment before the thought arises, but that pure witness, that is the very source of love. Just allow yourself to be present in that purity that you are. No matter what the mind thinks, no matter what the mind may project or judge throughout its time, but turning your mind and your awareness inwardly to your heart, the true nature and the spark of divinity that allows you this very precious gift, the incarnation, this very breath of spirits that sustains you in this moment. Contemplate that and allow that contemplation to open up more inside you throughout this show, throughout tonight. Allow that contemplation that you are divine love manifested, that your life is only possible because of divine love. And you are that miracle of divine love. And as you feel that, as you go deeper with that, allow yourself to acknowledge where you may not express that, where you may not choose to live that, and the powerful divine will that's been given to all humans. That free will is to choose love. And then you realize it's never a choice.
With every breath you take, you have the opportunity to choose love. You have the opportunity to open yourself right now 100% to the beauty and the bounty of divine love. For divine love, in its presence and in its witness, glorifies every particle of you. It upholds, uplifts, and gives in great cherishing love. An expression that is so deep within the makeup and the very fabric of your soul's essence. Divine love is what you are made of, and the miracles do not exist outside of you. They exist deep within the core of your heart. They open with the doors and the gateways by the purity of your righteous actions, your thoughts, your deeds, your virtues. Contemplate, do you allow divine love to truly envelop your essence? And do you choose to drop and dissolve everything that could disallow that experience? In this meditation, we invite you to choose with great vehemence and great conviction inside of you that you choose now to open, no matter what you've done, no matter what has been done to you, to that presence of divine love. For it shall never judge you. It shall never do anything but give and share the love of creation that you already are.
And the capacity for you to feel divine love, the depths of your being, how deep you feel love perfectly is exemplified by how much compassion you can give. The greater compassion that you can give to this world and to others and have for all of creation is the greater capacity to feel that love of truth that you are. And the beautiful thing with love, true, divine, perfect love, when you taste it, when you experience it, and you taste from the fountain of the true self, the supreme real and supreme reality, when you taste that, nothing else will ever do. And so we ask each one of you do you wish to taste the nectar of the miracle of your true nature? Do you wish to taste the miracle of divinity itself? Do you wish to drink from the fountain of God's grace? And if you wish that, all you need to do is surrender, surrender, and surrender.
And surrender some more.
And when you do, you'll be caught in the ocean of eternal bliss, eternal love. So may you feel that, and may you never forget that, and may you never forget who you truly are, what you truly are, and to show up from that knowing, because to know God is to love God, and to love God is to know God. And when you choose love over everything else, you take refuge in the presence of the Almighty. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
I was inspired to start our show today because I had a really powerful conversation with one of the twin ray angels yesterday, and we were talking a lot about their message and our experience of them. And I really invite everyone, all of you, and it's so beautiful because we're really getting to know each other. Their message is so simple and yet profound. And that really is the message of truly loving ourselves, truly recognizing that to know God is to love God, and to know ourself and to love ourself in a humble expression of gratitude for the amazing miracle of life. It is such a miracle that we have these body temples and that we're living on this planet. It's a miracle. Every day, the ways that our bodies function is a series of miracles. and really learning to be in maximum gratitude and maximum love, and to really go deep inside, because it's inside that we find God. And we find that God is us and we are God in a whatever unique way that you might envision that. So my beloved co-pilot and brother Omashar,
It
do
would be
you,
me.
do you have some thoughts and a song for us?
I have no thoughts because what I find is I do have thoughts, but they take me out of my heart. And when I'm fully in my heart, as the Twin Ray just guided me in, sometimes there's no need for thought because it's so full and complete. It's not like you're brain dead; it's like you're fully alive. And so, thank you for bringing that as the theme of our day. And of course, it's Earth Day weekend. However, every day, of course, we know should and would and will be Earth Day. And so this is a song called Mother. There's a Zinka, Mother, and Mother, I offer my love to you. And it's
Mother, I offer my love to you for the healing of our nation. Mother, I offer my love to you for the healing of our earth. We're healing the nation. We're healing the earth. We're healing the nation. We're healing the earth. Mother, I offer my thanks to you for the life that I've been given. Mother, I offer my thanks to you for the love that I behold. I'm so grateful to be here, so grateful for your love, so grateful to be here, so grateful for your love. Mother, what can I do for you for the healing of our nation? Mother, what can I do for you for the healing of our earth? I'm listening with my heart, I'm offering my hands. I'm listening with my heart, I'm offering my hands. Healing the nation, we're healing the earth. We're healing the nation, we're healing the earth. I'm so grateful to be here, so grateful for your love, so grateful to be here, so grateful for your love. And we are listening with our hearts and offering our hands. We're listening with our hearts, we're offering our hands. Mother, I offer my love to you.
It's all twinkle, beloved Omashar, and thank you everybody for dancing and moving and grooving to the music.
and offering your bodies and your hands. Thank you.
Oh, that was great, great start. What a beautiful start to our show. In a few moments, Paul Sterling and myself are going to answer any questions you might be having about relationship. Paul is a brilliant relationship coach. And as the Twin Ray really talked about, really finding the love inside of ourselves, there's so many things that get in the way of it. Remember, they said it's about removing the obstacles to that. And Paul has some wonderful tips, tools, and practices for that. But just before we get to Paul, I am so excited that Zenka Kara is with us and talk about community. You know, I had the blessing of staying with her for a few days while I was in Sedona. This woman is constantly creating community. There's all that she does online, but also at her house. There's a constant one every single day. There were people coming to practice and to learn and to be blindfolded and do amazing magical things. And I have such respect for you, Zenka. You are just, first of all, you're really fun, right? You do everything with love and with fun, and you're building community, and you've got a really special event taking place that I hope all of our Global Peace Tribers are going to participate in. So tell us about what you've got coming up.
Thank you so much, Scott. And thank you everyone for today. You know, like just move. I was sitting there kind of dancing, but then I started moving my arms, and it's amazing how much more you can feel that way. And I like literally, my body's getting more sensitive, and I can literally feel from after that song, feeling like a heightened sense of being in a higher vibration, for lack of a better word. So I just want to applaud everybody for all that they're doing, because as you know, when we get into that higher vibration, then better things happen to ourselves and our friends and the relationships that you guys are going to be talking about today. So I'm just grateful. Thanks for having me on. You know, we are, it is all about community, because once you figure out your relationships, then it's like the next tier, and the next tier is beyond your very close relationships. And one of the things that we want to do at LightNet is really encourage conversation around some of the biggest topics that are happening today, whether it's natural law or AI or whatever. We're going to be talking about the quantum age on Saturday. We have a live stream, and we also have a fundraising dinner. So some people, 50 people, will be there at the dinner. And I can share the screen real quick and talk about it a little bit here. So if you go to lightnet.org, on the top here, you're going to see this metaphysical salon. Now, salons used to be, you know, where people would get together and discuss amazing things. And you can just click over there to learn more. And we're going to be having a filmmaker from Frank Jacobs, who's a famous guy. Oops, I was going to scroll down to look at here. So yeah, Frank Jacobs has been studying some of the technology that is being used. It's called the looking glass technology, and it's an electromagnetic field technology that several governments have to look into the possible futures. And we're going to talk about what it means for us as a collective to imagine what we want, and then to bring those things into the world. So yeah, if you go to lightnet.org, on that top banner, you can click over, and we'd love to have you part of the live stream and part of the conversation.
What time is it taking place?
It's at 5 o'clock on Saturday. So yeah, it'll be 5 o'clock on Saturday. Yep.
Beautiful. So, and how long will it go till?
So it's a 2-hour panel. There'll be 4 of us on the panel discussing all sorts of interesting ideas. So you'll be there for 2 hours. I guess perhaps the panel itself is starting a little bit later. But no, I think it's actually maybe 5:30 we start the actual panel. So yeah, I'll be sure to update that now. I'll ask Zoe exactly what the timing is for the online participants. But yeah, it's a great chance to get together. You'll be able to be chatting back and forth. We'll open up some Zoom rooms afterwards and really discuss some of this new technology that's coming in, and how we can organize as a conscious community to really override and create what we're really looking for. You know, we know that when we envision what we want, that's what we get. And so oftentimes we don't spend enough time envisioning what we want. So yeah.
Well, I envision much more time with you both online and in person. And let's schedule that next date with Altair. Let's get that on the books.
Yes. I just sent him an email. We had a reunion on Saturday night. We had Dr. Ivy doing from the whole conference doing music. It's absolutely incredible. You can find it on the Our Lightnet YouTube. It's, a track that just lifts your entire presence up, and we had great radio contact about this particular event that we're talking about, and Adrian did some channeling, so it was really fun to bring the Contact 100 back together. And Altair is so in love with you, Scott. He's like, the global peace tribe, we got to extend it to the galactic peace tribe. So
Absolutely.
you really have started something so beautiful.
And I love that you can answer it. Mama Ivy's been on the show many, many times. And
amazing.
She's a gem of a human being. As you met her, of course, we were all together in Sedona at the conference, and a lot of us are going to be together. There's a Holo Movement event happening on Wednesday night here in Marin in the Bay Area with Emmanuel and Laura and all the Bay Area people. So anyway, Zenka, thank you so much for who you are, all that you do, all the love you create. And I am, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of Zenka and LightNet.
Back at you, Scott. Thanks. And Paul, thank you for all the work that you're doing in the world. We really appreciate you, because relationships are the core of our freedom, of our getting that all sorted and forgiven and love. That's what you really sets your life free. So glad that you guys are here to do this today. Really great.
Take care, Zenka. We love you very much.
Yes.
So, I just want to encourage everybody, go ahead, go to Zenka's event on Saturday, start at 5:00. Now, of course, we've got our show at 6, but you know what? Our show, you can come in and out, go back and forth, have us on both, definitely it's going to be really, I want to support Zenka to the max. And next weekend is our anniversary show, and it's going to be all weekend, both Saturday night and Sunday. And so what a wonderful way to celebrate our anniversary by supporting Zenka, because the whole point of the Global Peace Tribe is to find these other wonderful people, organizations, let you know about them, and for us all to support each other. That's what it's all about.
Scott, one quick thing. You are so inclusive. Just your way of being shows that you live in a world of abundance. Like, some people are so afraid of sharing other people's stuff because there's not enough love to go around. And what I love about you and your show and having been around you is you always bring people up and include them and let them shine. So
no, thank you for
just
that.
Wanted to say that.
Thank you. It is a goal of mine, and one of the things that I've been so impressed with is how we all are collaborating. And I'm collaborating with the Evolutionary Leaders Network and with Unity Earth and the New Living Expo and the Conscious Life Expo and Zenka Kara and LightNet and probably 15, 20 other festivals and organizations that we've had the honor to support and collaborate with. And it's beautiful, and it is helping us to experience the oneness consciousness, that we really are one big, beautiful, truly global peace tribe. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
And thank you, Zenka, for your comments and the work that you do.
Zenka's, she's amazing. It was such a joy to really see her. If you really want to get to know someone, live with them for a while, right? And so I think
Amen.
I lived with Paul for 1.5 years. I lived with the twin Ray for a week, and I'm going to be going back and visiting them again next month. And you really see how someone is all day long. And Zenka, she's raising a kid, for heaven's sakes. And she still is like always happy, always on target, doing so much and doing it with so much love and fun. Really, really cool.
Thanks so much, Scott. You're welcome anytime. I loved having you too. It was really special to spend that time together.
I'll take you up on that. All right, Paul. So I do want to invite people, please open up questions. I do see Susan has a question that's not really about Paul Sterling relationship stuff, so I'll answer it quickly, and then love to see if people have questions for Paul. about relationship, or about how we can drop into what the Twin Ray were inviting us. Susan's asking about Adam Apollo, and he is launching a very exciting new project. During the course of the show, I'll try and get the website again, because you can't, I know I joined it, and you can join, and it's much more thorough than I can describe now, but we are going to have Adam on the show probably in May as a guest to really share this incredible new vision of what he is creating. So I'll try and get that information. Oh, Zenka can talk about it. That's right. 'cause
Yeah,
you with them.
yeah, I can talk a little bit about it. So Adam's on the board of directors of LightNut, and he's also been creating Core Nexus. So this is a project he's been working on for quite some time. And it does a couple major pieces that we need to in our evolution of our conscious community to really support everyone. And the first project he's working on is taking our social media structures, the Facebook, the Instagram, and things like that, and pulling it into a sovereign identity so that the people making money is not Facebook, but you as creators, as thought creators, because you guys are the leaders. Everyone's going to start looking towards spirituality, and they're going to need help with their day-to-day. They're going to help with motivation, with relationships, with food, with, all of it. And so he's creating a system where you can suck all of your content out of Facebook, place it into Core Nexus, which is a beautiful, like 3D kind of galactic-like interface, which is new, right? So a totally new look. And then it's easy for you to monetize some of your courses or your classes or the things that you're sharing. He's also working on a system that will allow us to leverage money into a system that will allow young people and other people to start living on purpose and making money on purpose. So let's say a town wants to put in like 100 backyard gardens, right? That can be a sort of a mission, he calls them, and there's a bounty on that. So let's say each garden will have a bounty of $100, and maybe some kid that's doing DoorDash says, "Oh, I can spend a couple hours, 4 hours putting in seeds. Like I want to do that mission. I want to do that bounty," and they'll sign up and they'll do that. So it's a way for us to work through the development goals and other goals we have in the consciousness community by creating a system where people can get paid micro payments. We're talking like cents. We're talking 30 cents, $30, whatever it is, across all crypto chains. So the Polygon network, the Ether network, the Bitcoin network has been a huge mess, but so it can distribute payments, maybe even for an album or an NFT that you want to pay the cover artist, the promoter, so it'll allow us to collaborate in a very genuine way where we can share microtransactions instantaneously with each other. And then he's building a trust network also that helps us know who each other are and trust each other's expertise on things. So those are some of the major things that he's working on, and they're going to be going into a beta program, and then in probably a year be launching. So it's been a lot of work, and it's a big leap forward in terms of visuals and technology to help us collaborate.
How perfect that you were here to answer the question, right? That's pretty amazing. And here at the website, it's corenexus.is, corenexus.is. And definitely review it, take a look at it. I put it into the chat box. And then definitely make sure you join. I've already done that, but I'll do it again. So join so that you can keep in touch with what Adam is doing. And we will definitely have Adam on the show soon. Thank you again for jumping in, Zenka. How's that for perfect timing? And Dia is holding up Adam's quantum geometry. There it is. And yeah, he was one of the keynote speakers at the LA Convergence, which I certainly enjoyed being at. All right. And Dara has a question, so I'm going to bring you on, Dara. And hopefully it's a relationship-oriented question.
Yes, excuse me. And please forgive me, it's Diara.
Diara.
Yeah, thank you.
Diara.
I wanted to thank you, Scott, first for being such a divine connector, and you have blessed me more than I can say or even know, this is really interesting, the throat clearing. I've I'm overwhelmed.
You're doing great. So you're doing
All the
great.
emotions and the love,
Yeah.
the synchronicities. My question's going to bring us back to the surrender that the twin race spoke of. I did want to check in with Paul for a moment, though, and ask: are you Paul Sterling, the musician that was driving through the desert when you had this miraculous thing with your first CD years and years and years and years ago?
That's Peter Sterling.
Peter, okay, good.
Sterling.
I show up places and I never know who I'm with, and I just trust it and clear the field. And so my lengthy prelude is almost over. That meditation was so beautiful, and I noticed how long we stayed in the field of silence. That says something. And thank you for honoring that, Scott. That's a tribute to your sensitivity as well. Yeah. And Omashar, your song was just gorgeous. The divine love and the surrender, it circles back to forgiveness for me. I've been doing some clearing work, and it's bringing up things that I never saw in ways that that I've allowed myself to be treated that has been less than holy. I'm starting to channel, apparently. And I'm balancing divine, righteous energy of boundary, which could come out as anger sometimes, and going into a deeper level of forgiveness and compassion. Obviously, I'm clearing my throat chakra. So, Paul, can you speak to that? Protecting thyself with permeable, safe boundaries is something that I asked for, and now I'm in it, living it, and would love more expansion on how to do this well.
Well, thank you. And I think that I'm noticing that it seems to be a strong feminine issue right now, to have boundaries, to take up space on the planet, and not, and you're going to be tested. It's always going to be at the edge of your comfort zone. If it's easy, you're not actually being vulnerable. It's always going to take courage, because any conflict is a battle of two needs. And so there's a need of connection and inclusion, and the need of individuality and my own safety. Yeah. And this is a dance that we do in any relationship that we have with anybody. If I make a stand for myself and set up a boundary, am I going to push the people away that I love? And you may. I mean, that's the truth of it. You may. There's a real risk in that. And there's also, though, the thing of loving myself, because if I give up my boundary, I might end up having the relationship with you that I want, but I end up losing the relationship I have with myself. Yes. At what expense? So Scott had asked me to talk a little bit about relationships with ourselves. So I had an older brother that looked like he had everything. He was a race car driver. He drove Formula Vs, which is like a mini Formula One, took first place in Watkins Glen for those racers out there. He was a martial artist. He always was dating not one, but two or three beautiful women. He was charismatic. And at age 26, he killed himself. And I had spent most of my life up till then wanting to be like my brother, because it looked like he had it. So what this ties in here is, if you want to be successful, you learn how to talk to other people. If you want to be happy, you learn how to talk to yourself. And so if putting up my boundary ends up pushing you away, can I be with that? Can I be with losing you to have me? and you get tested. God's always asking 3 questions. What do you want? Are you sure? And are you done with that? So what do you want? Now, like that simple joke that they talk about, if you pray for patience, God doesn't give you patience. God gives you lots of places where you can build your muscles. Is this making sense? And
Totally.
so, are you sure? So when I quit smoking many, many years ago, my smoking buddy tried to give me a carton of cigarettes. And at first I took it personally. And then I looked at it and go, oh, that's God or the universe or goddess, whatever you want to say, going, are you sure? And then the third question is, are you done with that? And so those are the 3 questions that are dancing through. And I want you to say this. I'm going to say it first, and I want you to say this with me. When I change the way I communicate, I can change my relationship with anyone, including myself. When I change the way I communicate, say that.
The way I communicate.
I can change my relationship with anyone.
I can change my relationship with anyone,
including myself.
including myself.
Yeah. One more time. When I change the way I communicate,
Everybody, when I change the way I communicate,
I can change my relationship with anyone,
I can change my relationship with anyone,
including myself.
including myself.
And if you look at the work that Scott does, that I do, that our mentor, a guy named Marshall Rosenberg, you look at any of the people that make a great difference on the planet, or they're very destructive. What they're doing is changing the way we communicate. And that's what I love about what the twin rays were talking about are we communicating from fear or from love? And if we're communicating from fear, it's hard to set up boundaries. And I've been there. I can be there today, tomorrow. When I'm in fear, it's hard to set up boundaries because I'm afraid I'm going to lose.
And I just saw in a flash, and this is that beautiful inner communication with the anger, bring it back to the fear and then back to the love. Because the anger is an indication that a boundary's required, and I can go into the fear, clear it, and speak differently coming from this new place that you're offering us.
Yeah, and there is a difference, and I've talked to Scott about this when we're living together, roommates in our walks, but there are boundaries, walls, and autonomy. So a boundary is when we kind of trust each other. A wall is when we stop trusting each other. So this is when somebody like in a relationship puts up, they call the police, I forget the name of it, but like, I need a wall away from you because I don't trust being next to you. So there's a big difference between boundaries and walls, and not talked about as much as it could be.
And you mentioned a third thing, and I want to ask a question about the wall, because then a wall is not necessarily incorrect in that moment.
No, if you don't trust, like if there's an abusive relationship, you might need a wall rather than boundary. I need
and it's so hard when it's a sibling or like the people that you love the most. Like that's God's lesson. Do you really want your sovereignty?
And I was going to say this in a different place, but most relationships don't end because of a lack of love. They end because you run into problems that are bigger than your skill set. And one of those skills is that if I can't set up boundaries that work for me, or if I can't communicate in a way that works for me, I have to put up walls, and divorce is a wall, and ending a relationship can be a wall.
Okay.
And the word I was looking for, a restraining order, is a wall when you don't feel like your boundaries are being respected.
Yes. And I'll before I let you go, you said 3 things: a boundary, a wall, and then you said
autonomy. How can I be autonomy? Underneath it all, I taught a course, can I be me and still be in a relationship with you? And that's a major challenge. Like, can I be me and it's courageous vulnerability. And a lot of people want intimacy, but they don't want vulnerability. And you can't have that, because the more intimate you are, the more vulnerable you are.
And I could see in your speaking the allowance of that for the other as well, and creating
Yeah.
a safe space for them, for their vulnerability.
And to hear the precious need that their boundary is setting up. Their boundary, if a boundary is, I want to be able to be with you. So here's what I need to be with you. A wall is, I just want to keep you away. So to be with you, I need this respected or that respected. And what's weird is I play a lot of pickleball. I know this is an odd metaphor here, but and I'm noticing a lot. We play a lot of co-ed, and the women, like, they make a good shot and they start apologizing for making a good shot. It's like they're apologizing almost for taking up space, and it's been in the culture, and it's changing with the next generation. So it's like, how do I occupy space and not have to apologize for, I'm here, I have precious needs. We have a culture of need shame. And when, the insult is, you're so needy. And if you call me needy now, I'm like, yes, I am. And it's taken me 69 years to make friends with my needs. I need air, I need water, I need intimacy, I need love. And it's okay if you don't make friends with your needs, but I'm making friends with mine, and I want to be around people that appreciate my needs and appreciate their own needs. That's why I love being around Scott, is he's a master at teaching all about emotional intelligence and about our needs. So thank you, Deborah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I said Deborah.
My name is Deborah also.
Okay, well, good, I nailed it.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you for asking that very vulnerable question. And Paul, thank you for being brilliant, of course. We're going to ask, there's one more question that came in, then we're going to have a Fanny and Vigari song, and then we'll come back to Paul. But our beloved Eleanor Joy, who does all the wonderful dancing, I want to find what it was she had asked.
While you're doing that, Scott, somebody had asked about the 3 questions again. So God's
that was Eleanor. That was Eleanor, the 3 questions.
Oh, okay. So, and I'm very spiritual, not very religious. So when I say God, I think if we're using God, it's the universe is bigger than me. That's the essence of it. But the universe is asking on a regular basis, what do you want? Are you sure? And that's when you get tested. And then, are you done with that? Because the universe recycles almost everything.
That's Fanny and Vigari getting prepared. I'm going to mute you guys just because we can hear you when you're recording and practicing there. There was a message that came in actually on Facebook. And it was in reference again to the Twin Ray meditation and prayer that we played at the beginning. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, Paul, and then I'll also offer a thought. And it's, when does self-love become selfish? When does divine love become spiritual bypassing? So it's kind of 2 questions. When is self-love selfish? When is divine love spiritual bypassing? So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Okay, so that we would have to start with, I try to teach people to become selfish, but not stupid. So when I am stupid, like years ago, my house got broken into here in Estes Park. So if I was stupid, what I would do is I'd alienate myself, make enemies about all my neighbors, and I would only take care of me and only take care of my needs. And I don't consider that taking care of self. I consider that being stupid. If I'm wanting to take care of self, I make friends with all my neighbors, and my neighbors want to take care of me. when I lived with Scott, if I only cared about me, I wouldn't be taking care of me. I'd get thrown out of the house in a week. So taking care of self is not a bad thing. It's like, if I do it at the expense of my neighbors, like Mexico and Canada or whatever, then they really stop. If I don't care about them, they don't care about me. That's not taking care of myself. If I'm really taking care of myself, I create a world that works for everybody. I don't have to live in a gated community because my neighbors want to take away what I have. I live in an abundant community where I don't need gates because people, my neighbors, will take care of me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Paul.
There's one last thing, Scott. I was working with a woman and she had said, she was talking to one of her friends, and her friend said, "You're so full of yourself." And it's like, I congratulated, like, who else should you be full of?
That's great. That's great. We'll be back with Paul in a moment. I do want to address both of those things for a moment. What I found is that the people who are selfish are the ones who don't truly love themselves. The analogy I like to use is a vase with a big hole at the bottom. And no matter how much water you pour in, the flowers don't get the water because it goes right through. And the people that I found that are truly selfish are lacking authentic self-love. Whereas the people that really love themselves, when you really have a healthy self-love, you just want to give to others. The Twin Ray, again, are a perfect example. They have a very healthy self-love, and so they just want to shine their light of love on everybody. And so when we really have healthy self-love, then we are generous because that is our nature. As Marshall Rosenberg taught me, the greatest joy in life is contributing to the well-being of others. And when we know that, we're blessed. I also want to talk about the spiritual bypassing. It's a great question. It's a great point. And we live on a planet of polarity. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So there's one end of the pole is create your own reality. The other end of the pole is surrender to God's will. Likewise, there is the pole of everything happens for a reason. But the other side of that pole is compassionate understanding. And so when something difficult happens for a person or for any of us, there is the perspective that it is happening for a reason, to teach us a lesson. But it's also important for us to have empathy for the challenge of that. And I do see sometimes New Thought or New Age people that bypass the empathy to go too quickly to, so why did your husband leave you? Right? Hey, there's still tremendous agonizing pain around that. And so let's empathize first. And then when the person really feels connected, gently ask permission. Do you like to explore? Are you ready to explore the deeper questions around that yet? And it's okay if you're not, right? So it's important for us to be present. And spiritual bypassing is when we avoid the pain or the very real challenges of a circumstance, whitewashing it with a spiritual rationalization or a spiritual, even maybe a spiritual truth, but we're avoiding dropping deeper into the connection. So those were my thoughts on it. Paul, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I talk about 3 core skills: clearing up the past, connecting, getting present, and creating possibilities for the future. And if we don't clear up the past ends up in the present. And the way to clear up the past is to, and this is, I consider myself woo, not woo-woo. I'm halfway there. But part of what I think I heard Scott saying there is the ability to be with either your own pain or someone else's pain. Addiction of any sort, drugs, alcohol, TV. Hi, I'm addicted to Netflix. I use Netflix to not be with, a lot of time, my own pain. And can I be with somebody else's pain, or do I try to bypass it? Like, you shouldn't feel the way you feel, or stop feeling that you're bringing me down. You know, and one of the things Marshall said, which it took me a while, he said, intimacy is the ability to enjoy someone else's pain. So if you enjoy someone else's happiness, you don't try to get them out of their happy. If you can enjoy or at least be with someone else's pain, you don't try to get them out of their pain. You help them maybe even go deeper into their pain so they can move through their pain. So it's moving through versus going around. And that's the whole ability of empathy. Like, I talk about no wonder. Like, if I really enter somebody else's world, because you can do nonviolent communication from your head where you can repeat back the words and it's very shallow, or you can do it from your heart where you really enter their world and go, oh, no wonder you're feeling hurt or lost. You know, if I was telling myself that story, and I use story lovingly, if I was telling myself that story, I would feel that too. And I have a visceral, when I'm working with couples and I enter their world, I have a visceral response.
Absolutely.
Like, no wonder you got that. And what do you need to feel safe right now? How can I be with you rather than me quick fixing? Because I'm a fixaholic. I'm addicted to the fix, and I've studied the answers. And the stretch for me always is to be with longer, because especially for the masculine, if you come to the masculine in pain, the default setting is it's either my fault or my responsibility. So the quicker I fix you and get you out of pain, the less discomfort I feel.
Yeah.
So it's not becoming about you at all. It's about, I feel uncomfortable when you're in pain because I think I'm responsible. So the setup here is to let them know and go, honey, I don't need a fix. I need empathy. Can you be with me? Do you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes? And you set each other up to win. So I know that's a longer answer than you're probably wanting, Scott, but
no, it's all great tools, Paul. Clearly, it's going to be a 12 noon show today. In other words, we're going to go till 12 noon because we still have 2 Fanny and Vigari songs and an Omashar song and a Larissa Stowe video. So we have a lot left to share. But I will come back to Paul one more time today for more Paul Sterling wisdom. Thank you, Paul. I do want to read just a few of the comments that have come in because I really love engaging, and so many of you are writing beautiful things. Omashar points out that into me I see, intimacy, into me I see, and Eleanor Joy said that she learned that. Eleanor Joy also adds, everything happens for me, not to me. She adds, I like to use the word allow, allows me to dig deeper. And so, yeah, absolutely. And we have a beautiful new friend with us, Deborah Juliet, and she writes, my humble suggestion, you want to become selfless without the smaller self, so that you can become self-full, full of the higher self, instead of selfish. It's a beautiful bit of wordsmithing, Deborah. Thank you for that. Sylvia writes, centered in myself in ways that I can receive and share. I'm working on being self-centered. Absolutely. That's a lifelong one. It's beautiful. Paul just added empathy, empty me first. It's a good one. And then last question I'll read, and then finally we'll get to Fanny and Vigari. I believe empathy has a component of feeling the other person's pain. Is that necessary to make myself feel pain in order for them to know I'm present to love them? It's a great question, Dia, very quickly. again, I was talking about the three poles. So one end of the scale is apathy. I don't care. The other end of the scale that's equally harmful is sympathy. Oh, you poor, pathetic thing. Pity or sympathy, no. Apathy, no. But in the middle, in our heart, is empathy, where we feel with the other. And as a coach, and I'm sure it's the same for Paul, the miracles happen when the couple goes from arguing to understanding each other and feeling each other. When he feels the pain that she experienced because of the choice he made, when she feels how much he's trying to please her, when we feel it is when the other trusts that we get it. And we all want to be understood. All right. A lot to digest, and the best way to digest, the reason on all of our shows we have live music, is live music. And it is Vigari's birthday weekend. We are celebrating Mother Earth Gaia Earth Day weekend, and we are also celebrating Vigari's birthday. 29, I think I heard Omashar say.
Yes, 29 makes 11, which is a master date in Vigari's for sure.
You're really soft, Fanny. We need you to raise the volume so we can hear you.
I just wanted to say, beautiful, beautiful, Scott. I see wings when you move on the computer. That is totally magical. And as you were speaking, I took the cards from the beautiful Stuart Pierce that came onto the show at the beginning, and I was so enthralled by him, I bought his cards right away. So I took the card by magic, empathy. And he says, the angel that I saw wings in you, Scott. Raphael brings to you the oracle of the empathetic and reminds you of the simplicity of the beautiful lotus. The lotus is the symbol of enlightenment, which sinks below water during the night to be reborn in the light of the day. So be with the sun. Allow its energy to warm and nourish you. Try to move through the challenges that you face with empathy, humor, and love. Chant, do breathing through the heart chakra. Raphael's energy will fill you as it is a beautiful day to breathe in and breathe out. And as we breathe, we say there's a fresh wind blowing through. And let the good life into you. This is Vigari's beautiful song.
Yes, I'm learning so much today.
Oui, beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Here we go.
Isolation, it only keeps us apart. The only solution is the way of the heart. As we rise in every nation, it's time to set things right.
It's time to set things right.
We the people growing into a generation of light, breathe, there's a fresh wind blowing through. Breathe, let the good life into you.
It's a celebration as we rise above.
conversation going on around you. I can see the reflection of something that I'm feeling inside. It's a revelation. We the people together in a love revolution for the sake of the world. Yeah, breathe. There's a fresh wind blowing through. Breathe, let the good life into you. Breathe, there's a fresh wind blowing through. Breathe, let the good life into you.
The prophecy says of the white, it will come, it will come. Here we are. The rainbow people are rising, are rising. Here we are. We are the earth lovers. We are the peacemakers. We are awakening, a new earth is rising. Here we are. As we rise above, as we rise in
Let your vibration rise. When you breathe. Let your vibration rise. When you breathe. Let your vibration rise. When you breathe.
when you breathe, when you breathe.
Let your vibration rise. When you breathe.
So I'll send twinkles and love and appreciation to Fanny and Bugari. Beautiful. And as I put in the chat box, you can get their music by going to Bandcamp. They are the Mystiques 1111. And they started the song just after 1111, I noticed. Love you guys so much. Thank you. And actually, what we're going to do is we're going to have them do our closing song today. So we're going to share a couple of videos, have a little more Paul Sterling, have a little more community dialogue, and then we'll close out. We'll have an Omashar song, and we'll close out with Fanny and Bugari. Love you guys so much. Thank you for being with us again. You are most beloveds. Very briefly, there's a question that came in that I just noticed from Dia, and she says, Thank you, Scott. This is a topic of further discussion. Do we really have to make ourselves unhappy to serve and love? When we're empathizing, when I'm empathizing with someone, I'm never unhappy. I might be uncomfortable. And the purpose of life is not to be happy all the time. My observation of people that are living at a very high state of evolution is they're fully present to what is. And the goal is not to be happy or to avoid being unhappy. They are present to what is. Sometimes there is sadness. At the very beginning, when we heard Shekinah singing that song for the children, it was rooted in her awareness of the suffering of children, and it led to that beautiful song. Was she unhappy when she was singing it? I don't think so. Was she in empathy? Yes. And when I'm empathizing with someone, even if I'm crying, and I cry with my clients sometimes, it's not about being unhappy, but I am sharing their discomfort. I'm feeling the discomfort with them. So I hope that that is helpful. Paul, is there anything you want to add to that piece?
Yeah, I think that there's a term that Marshall, I put in the text there, that Marshall called sweet sadness. That I don't get in a hierarchy of judging that happy is good and sad is bad. There's a suffering that I tend to want to avoid suffering, but I don't want to avoid feeling the sadness. And if I can be with somebody and feel that sadness with them, you know, I worked in prison for 8.5 years, and I could be crying with the inmates in front of the room and feeling really connected. The sadness didn't take me away from my connection with the people that I work with or myself. Can I be with my sadness without wanting to run away or judge it? So that's all I got for that.
Deborah Juliet is asking, what is the difference between empathy and compassion?
In my world, they're very close. Empathy, can I enter your world and have you feel heard, understood, and valued? I draw that triangle out, put it on your refrigerator. Whenever we speak, what do we want? We want to be heard, understood, and valued. And to me, that's a process. Oops, my screen froze for a second there. Of entering somebody else's world, giving them empathy and doing it with compassion, like not trying to convince them that they should be anywhere else. I'm meeting them where they're at.
Mm-hmm. I think it is semantics. And by the way, you're freezing up a little bit. So if there's anything you do to improve your internet, Paul. I guess for me, empathy is more personal. I empathize with my friend. I empathize with my client. Compassion is maybe a little more universal. I have compassion for what's going on in Ukraine. I have compassion for people. So I guess compassion is a little bit more the choice to be in a state of compassion. Empathy is more like personal one-on-one. That's just kind of how I would work with that. But I'd be curious, Deborah Juliet, what distinction you might make. I'm going to go to a couple of videos that I had promised to see. The first one's very short. You've been hearing a lot about the Holo movement. We played twice last night, and last night's show was a great show. Go back and watch it if you missed it. Although I know we had about 75 people in the Zoom room last night, and most of them are back with us this morning. And thank you for being with us both last night and coming back in this morning. And so, yeah, the Evolutionary Leaders Network, which is this beautiful group that I'm so grateful to be part of, we are all working on getting out the understanding of what we're calling the holo movement, that we are all part of one incredible holographic universe. And one of my friends who is part of that is named Kit Thomas. An interesting aside, Kit and I have known each other for 30 years, and people have always gotten us confused because I'm Scott Thomas and he's Kit Thomas. And when we were in Sedona together, he and I had lunch, and he said, Scott, I got to tell you a true story. Many years ago, a woman reached out to him thinking that he was Scott Thomas. And they ended up having a beautiful affair, even though she discovered it was Kit Thomas and not Scott Thomas. She said, Scott, I never thanked you for that. So anyway, a bit of an aside. Kit sent this, he and his beloved partner, who's now very happily married, created this video in honor of Earth Day. It's very short, it's less than 2 minutes. And I wanted to show it. So this is from Kit Thomas, not to be confused with Scott Thomas.
Be quiet. Nature is a storehouse of knowledge and information about myself, about my living, my people, the world. I mean, nature can tell you if you just be quiet. I say, shut up, because people are talking too much. Listen, just listen. If you go out to nature and really experience it, you will begin to hear the lessons that nature has for you. You're going to come back a richer, fuller human being, and you will be in service to humankind and Mother Earth.
Kit and his wife have been interviewing hundreds of new thought leaders for the past 10 years, and they've created an incredible library that you can find at circleofwisdom.net. So I want to definitely encourage people to do that. On Wednesday night, our show was all about humanity awakening, and it was in collaboration with the Portal to Ascension conference taking place right now down in San Diego. And I didn't have time to play a video from my dear friend Larissa Stowe. And of course, Larissa is one of our favorite presenters, luminaries. She'll be on with us next weekend during our anniversary show. This is a little pre-recorded video that I had done with Larissa, talking about what it means for her that humanity is awakening. And so since we didn't get a chance to play it on Wednesday night, I'm going to play it now. Definitely want to, this is a good time if people want to put in any other thoughts, comments, and questions for Paul, or anything else you want to share. It's our Community Connection Day. Then we've got Omashar music and a closing song from Fanny and Vigari. Come on, I'm pressing play. There we go. Well, and that's interesting. I'm pressing play and it's not playing. Let's try it again. Close it and reopen. And let's hope this time I'm with Larissa. There we go. Okay. So now let me share screen. Technology. So, and this is the strangest thing. Well, I can play it this way. I can show you video. I do not know why the play isn't working. All right. Well, I am going to go to Brother Omashar, if he's with us. I've never had that happen before, where the video's up, pressing play, and it's not playing. So it's time for Omashar to bail me out, as he does periodically.
Yes, love bailing you out because there's only the flow, and that's the beauty of it. When none of us have any preconceived ideas of how it's going to be, it just shows up and unfolds, and we flow with it. And it's beautiful to be a part of that river, Scott. And so,
Thank you.
yes. So let's do this.
Isn't it wonderful to have songs like that all of us know and that bring up so many?
It's amazing, and I was doubtful whether I should play it because it's so played. And then a friend of mine said, you know what, that's something that connects the whole world together. Everybody, no matter what language, race, culture, or creed, know that song more than likely. And so just play it, get over yourself and play it. And so I did, and here it is.
Great choice, great choice. Well, I'm imagining that the video of Larissa Stowe is going to play. While you were playing, I tested it and it played, so let's see.
Okay.
And if it doesn't play now, then I just know it's not meant to be today. It's going to be a big part of what's happening in San Diego. And I'm going to pose the question. How are you experiencing, both in your personal world and also in your view of the bigger world, how is humanity awakening? What are you seeing?
I think one of the biggest things I'm seeing is that people around me were all having a greater depth of self-reflection from a place that's really raw. In the past, I've seen us like aspire, to change our mind and to level up. And what's different, what feels really different about this time is this turning towards ourselves and more like radical self-acceptance. Like there's more of a rawness now, more of a realness. I always think of the story. It's like, as I say these words, I think of the story of the Velveteen Bunny. And if you know that story, of the little boy who gets scarlet fever, and he has this wonderful little stuffed animal rabbit that goes everywhere with him that he loves. And when he has scarlet fever, he like holds onto that rabbit, and the rabbit loves the little boy. So this story is told through the rabbit's experience and how much the rabbit is just so grateful to be with the little boy and worries about the little boy when he has scarlet fever and doesn't mind that the little boy and all the ways that he's hugging him and sweating with the scarlet fever, that his like eyes get kind of rubbed off and his nose gets like, rubbed off, and he's becoming kind of tattered by the whole experience. But he is filled with so much gratitude because of the love that he's experiencing with the boy. And at the end, after the little boy gets better and comes out of scarlet fever, his mom takes the stuffed rabbit and puts it outside to be thrown away. Because now that the little boy had scarlet fever, everything that the little boy touched could be infectious, right? So the mom was going to actually burn the rabbit, the stuffed rabbit. And the rabbit's like aware of this and is freaking out, but sees these other rabbits that are in the yard, actual real rabbits that are jumping up and down in the yard, and then is like, oh my God, I would love to be like that, a real rabbit. And he actually finds himself becoming a real rabbit. And he realizes that it's the love, it's the rawness. It was the initiation of that love and of being willing to kind of lose everything that gave him the gift of life.
Wow. I've heard about the Velveteen Rabbit, but I'd never heard the story. So that's beautiful. I've got tears. Awesome. Oh.
And I love that story so much. And I think about how we're going through that process. You know, we're becoming more real, and I think we're feeling ourselves, giving ourselves permission to really talk about what's going on with us, and to see like our places within that are more insecure, you know, our feelings of unworthiness. You know, in the past we would put on our best, you know, mask, so to speak, and show up and just put that, you know, the energy that we want the world to see us in, that energy forward. And there's a courage, that is, I think, building within consciousness right now, like this courage to be more authentic, to be, you know, courageously vulnerable, which is one of the 6 agreements, is to lead with courageous vulnerability. And that is awakening us, I believe, like at a whole new level. You know, it's not that level of perfection and of, you know, having our shit together and, you know, like, look at me. You know, it's not, it doesn't have that bravado that I think we've always looked up to. We pedestalized, you know, those people in our community that we felt like have had it all together, you know, that are really successful. And there's this bravado that we were conditioned to see as where we want to be, that successful, you know, confident energy that we aspire to be. I think we're shifting that. And I think that is a real demarcation of showing that our consciousness actually is awakening. You know, to have that compassion for exactly where we are, even if where we are is feeling not confident in that moment, you know, to have an honoring and a love for our humanity.
You know, I'm wondering if you'd be willing to share, because what you're describing is what I've watched you go through recently in the last year or two. And I don't know if you want to share briefly about your journey of courageous vulnerability and coming out on the other side with your beautiful land in Shiloh.
Yeah, it's been, you bring it up, and yeah, I've been through a lot physically, you know, had some, like a full-on cancer scare, and went through all of that, like totally in the public eye. And it felt really important to me to be honest about that with the world. I just had this sense that what I know is so important for the healing of our planet is first really being honest about how we really feel and what we're really going through, so that we create a space of intimacy, deeper intimacy for ourselves and in our relationships with each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's a place that invites love.
Yeah.
And compassion. You know, when we're that vulnerable, it's like that part of us is kind of adorable in a way, you know what I mean? Like when we're, you know, it creates a space for others to be able to come in and to hold us, and for us to be able to hold ourselves and, you know, hold each other at a much deeper level. So yeah, I did, Scott. I gave myself permission because I felt like it was time for me to be really more honest with the world, for better, for worse, and with myself. And that's how I think I healed, you know, was through that depth of honesty and that exploration of what was really truly going on the inside of me.
And the way that you went into the dark retreat, you know, that you didn't just run and hide, but you actually went and met the challenges by putting yourself in that dark retreat for 4 days. And and then coming out of it with nothing short of a miracle healing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I I'm so grateful for that, like absolutely grateful. And it's that same vulnerability, that courageous vulnerability that has brought Shiloh into my life and into our lives, and the vulnerability of taking that giant leap, you know, on doing something that I feel is necessary for myself, my community that I love and adore, and the planet. You know,
And
it's
for our audience to know, Shiloh, it's not a dog, it's not a new child. It's a beautiful 12-acre property outside of Sedona in Cornville or Cohenville.
yeah,
And it's an incredible opportunity and a lot that you manifested so quickly. You've always wanted to do community, and now you're doing it. And it's all part of this amazing, your own personal journey of awakening, going from a life-threatening cancer scare through the darkness, through the courageous vulnerability, and then boom, life brings you what you've always wanted, an opportunity to create community in such a beautiful, powerful way.
yes, and as you say that, it's like what I think of when you're talking about this too is like that. I believe this awakening that's coming out of that vulnerability as well is a call for community and an ability to have intimacy with community. You know, so when we're courageously vulnerable, it creates this opportunity for deep intimacy with a community of like-hearted people, to where you can really show up for each other, have each other's backs, and grow something together. And I believe that is so necessary for this next level of awakening for the new earth. This new earth is calling us to be in a we space together and to create from the we rather than just from the me. Like, it's going to take us coming together in ways that we haven't experienced before, to work together, to collaborate, to play together, like deeply play, to create this, what we call the new earth. But this new earth is really, it's rising out of that vulnerability, rising out of that intimacy, rising out of the trust that comes from that kind of intimacy. Because you can't have trust with each other without going into those deeper places of intimacy with one another.
Absolutely. You know, and I so appreciate you as a co-founder of the Weevolution. And of course, we've done several shows about the Weevolution and your beautiful 6 agreements. And I'll put those in the chat box while this video is playing so people can read it. And talking about coming together, that's what this whole show is about. And you've got a really cool part of the Portal to Ascension conference. We're all going to come together with you and Admiral Apollo. Tell us about the concert on Sunday night. Because we're running late and we now kind of just get into a little bit of promotion for a concert in San Diego. So if any of you are in San Diego and are interested in going to the concert tonight, let me know. I'll put that in the chat box. But I find it interesting that Larissa talks so much about courageous vulnerability. And that is a term that Paul Stirling uses quite frequently. And so it is kind of an interesting thing, Paul, that I didn't remember until playing the video, because I recorded this with her a couple of weeks ago, that that's one of your key terms. So kind of a little interesting synchronicity here.
I noticed that myself.
I bet you did. Yeah, you know, and by the way, we will inevitably have a Global Peace Tribe retreat on her property. They just bought it, and there's a lot of work that needs to go into it. It was an ashram, so it's already got a lot of sacred energy to it. And it's just outside of Sedona. So we will all be there together as Global Peace Tribe. So Paul, before we go to the closing song, were there questions or other things you came up that you'd like to respond to?
Well, I do want to tell people that I have a book called Argue Less, Love More. And would this be a good moment to tell them if they want to work with me, what to do?
This would be the perfect moment for that. And I'll also go to your website.
Okay. Part of what I do is I work with couples that still love each other, but are having a hard time getting along. And almost every relationship problem starts with a communication problem. And there is nothing more heartbreaking, at least that I've seen, than when people still love each other, but they can't get along anymore. And it ends up in a breakup or a separation. Or it ends up silently suffering and staying together and being miserable. And so what I do is have an hour-long breakthrough session. The hour-long is normally, an hour with me is $297, and it's a breakthrough. It's worth it. And I'm doing something, Scott, you've never heard me do this before. I'm doing it for $97. And it's a guarantee. Like, here's the truth. I'm only going to do this for 5 people. But if you don't think it's the most powerful hour you've spent working on your relationship, I will actually double your money back. I know I should say it slices, it dices, it does all that. But I want to take away the idea of risk and like have you really explore what's going on in your life in the no fault zone, because a lot of reason people don't go to coaching or therapy is they think that somebody's going to gang up against them and let them know how bad, stupid, and wrong they are. This is not that. This is a place where you get to find out about your precious needs and what's getting in the way of you getting your needs met. So you can take care of yourself and your partner and have an amazing breakthrough experience. And I literally thought of this just before the call. So you're not going to find it on my website. There's no long written thing about it. If they go to sterling07@gmail.com, that's my email. Send me an email. Tell me, I want the breakthrough session. I'll send you a link and you can set it all up. And people, one of the couples I worked with recently, they came to me because they were thinking of breaking up. And in like 3 months, rather than breaking up, they got married and they asked me to come officiate the wedding. Now, I didn't make it to officiate that wedding, but I've gone and been at other weddings because people have breakthroughs when they communicate differently. So if I change the way I communicate, I can change my relationship with anyone, including myself. So if you want to break through with yourself, you can get one of those sessions too. So there you go, Scott.
Paul, that's pretty amazing. I put in both your website and your email address in the chat box. Again, here's the website. And Paul's got a lot of great stuff on there, including videos of himself and all the amazing things that he offers. So that's a beautiful offering that you're providing, Paul. Thanks,
yeah,
Paul.
and for people, it's more fun, it's faster, it's easier if I work with the couple. But there's plenty of testimonials where the couple wasn't ready. One person was ready and they led the show, and I only worked with them and they had a breakthrough. I mean, I worked with one woman, her husband had moved out from England and had moved into with a woman in Portugal, and like he came back to pick up his stuff and she had so changed the way she communicates that he never left again. And this was like 4 years ago. Now, I don't guarantee that result, but I just want people to know what's possible when you change the way you communicate.
Absolutely. And Paul has the tools. So that's a great offering. I really encourage people to take advantage of it. Paul, thank you for blessing us with your presence today. And I will talk to you soon, partner.
Yeah, and thank you for being a model of courageous vulnerability and the new world.
My pleasure. Thank you. So I want to, as we get ready to go to Fanny and Vigari for a closing song, I do want to share with you what's happening next week. On Wednesday night, it's going to be a great show. It's all about understanding epigenetics while honoring our ancestors. So it's not about blaming our problems or our patterns on our ancestors. Our ancestors were amazing. They made incredible sacrifices to make sure that we have the level of freedom and choice that we live in today. But epigenetics are real. Before we're born, we receive a genetic download of the trauma of our ancestors, going back as far as 7 generations. We're going to learn all about that. My co-host, Maria Love, and you've seen her on the show many times, she'll be with us, and Geraldine Orozco, who is a remarkable woman, very wise, and then also Carrie Bailey, and this is their field of study. Geraldine is she is a epigenetic psychotherapist, and so it's going to be a chance for us to go deep into learning more about that field. And then finally, next weekend, we are celebrating our anniversary. It was April 3rd of 2020 that I hosted and produced the very first Saturday Night Alive show that became Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. I then added my Straight Talk shows and my Sacred Sunday shows. We've done 500 shows over the past 3 years. We're celebrating that next weekend. And so we'll be having highlights from some of our favorite speakers and favorite moments. And it's gonna be a very special weekend, both Saturday night and Sunday morning. So in closing, I want to bring us back to what Shekinah Ma and Sanandaji invited us to really drop into. What does it mean to love God, to know God, to know God, to love God, and to love ourselves at a higher level. So let's carry that through our week. Let's make that our dedication for the week. Thank you everybody for joining us. And I'm going to turn it over to Fanny and Vigari for our closing song. Hello, Fanny.
This is the beautiful, beautiful feather that Alexander gave me. Alexander was the shaman that came to the Rose Room, and he came to the Global Peace Tribe reunion, and he touched my heart so deeply at the ceremony on the beach. He took it off his head and he gave it to me, and it's a total reverence of life and nature. His guidance, his love, his light really took my heart. So this song today is Mama Gaia, and it is also our anniversary. Vigari and I, we met on Earth Day weekend, eons ago. So, and we still...
Many moons ago.
Yes, and so it is. This one is called Mama Gaia. I say, chante, sing a song of love, sing a song of light, sing a song of love, sing a song for the earth. And so it is. Chante une chanson, chante une chanson, chante une chanson d'amour. Chante une chanson, chante une chanson, chante une chanson de lumière. Chante une chanson, chante une chanson, chante une chanson d'amour. Chante une chanson, chante une chanson, chante une chanson pour la terre. For the sweet sounds of the earth and the secrets she has to share as we walk gently together in our dreams and hopes we treasure. We are a part of you, Mama Gaia. We're all a part of you. La 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 la, wambaya wambaya, la 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 la, la 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 la, waya kumaya, la 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 la. Heaven is here. Heaven is you. Heaven on earth is here with you. That is the miracle. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Chante une chanson, chante une chanson, chante une chanson d'amour. Chante une chanson, chante une chanson, chante une chanson de lumière. Chante une chanson, chante une chanson, chante une chanson d'amour. Chante une chanson, chante une chanson, chante une chanson pour la terre. Mama yeah, oh, mama, mama yeah, krika bakai kikumake, mama yeah, mama yeah, kon kamal, mama yeah, oh, mama yeah, mama yeah, umakia lila la yasadu. Mama yeah, mama yeah, mama yeah, mama yeah, mama yeah,
Mama, yeah, mama. Mama, yeah, mama,
mama
yeah.
yeah,
Mama Gaia.
mama yeah,
Oh, Mama Gaia.
mama yeah, achiku ya lele,
Mama, yeah.
mama yeah,
Oh, Mama, yeah,
mama yeah, mama kia
Mama, yeah, Mama, yeah.
mama yeah, ay ay ay
Mama,
ay
yeah, Mama Gaia.
Mama Gaia.
Gaia.
Mama Gaia, all the beauty
Mama Gaia.
surround us.
Mama Gaia. Mama Gaia. Would you go where your love was? Mama Gaia. Hey, Mama Gaia.
It's all twinkle, beloveds Fanny and Vergara. That was amazing, wasn't it? I got chills as we could hear Vergara calling on Mother Gaia, and just beautiful, really beautiful. Thank you to you too. And again, happy birthday, beloved Vigari.
Thank you.
The start of a wonderful new cycle around the sun. Maximum grace for Vigari, maximum grace for Fanny Vigari.
Thank you. So go get our song, beautiful people. It's on Bandcamp. This one is called Mama Gaia. On Bandcamp,
You'll
we are
find
here
them.
for you.
Yeah, and we'll find you on Bandcamp at the Mystiques 1111 at Bandcamp. And there it is. There are their albums. There's their page. I'll put it in the chat box one last time.
Let's all dance together.
Yeah, kudos to you. Kudos to you, Scott and Paul and everybody else. All the wisdom that was expressed here today. Thank you.
Every show.
There's another beautiful show. Another beautiful show. You know, after almost every show, I go, it's a really good show. And my only regret is always that we don't have more people watching. And today we had an especially beautiful show and a small crowd. And each and every one of you is so precious. So I really want to ask, as we celebrate the anniversary, please share this with your friends, with your family, start a watch party, let people know about what we're doing. And I certainly look forward to seeing all of you next Wednesday night, next weekend, and have a beautiful week. Let's remember what we heard from Shekinah Ma and Sanandaji. You may want to watch the replay. Of course, we'll send out the replay of this to all the people who have registered for Global Peace Tribe. Go back and listen to that first 15 minutes from them. I have that as a separate segment, and I listen to it frequently. It's a beautiful way to just kind of anchor me in. So I invite us to all listen again, and let's really practice what they are suggesting this week. And final thought, remember, we can make any moment sacred by choosing to see the divinity. So blessings. Let's all see the divinity in each other, in our beautiful Mother Earth. And it's true, every day is Earth Day. Take care, everybody. I'm going to go to Gallery View one last time, and we could all twinkle each other goodbye. Take care, everybody. Much love.